since we're very, very young that goal setting is essential for turning your dreams into reality. And it is. It's the fastest way to get to where you want to go.
You must first become the best version of yourself, though. Use your gifts and take chances. That's the message in this book, Chase the Bears, Little Things to Achieve Big Dreams. Its author is former Congressman Rick Keller, who served 8 years in the House of Representatives. Rick joins us now live. Sir, how are you doing?
Yes.
Good to see you.
Good to be with you, Alexis and Randall. You got me from the center of the hurricane down in Orlando, so I'm excited to be someplace that's nice and safe and secure up there.
Yeah, man. Well, please be safe. But
yes.
We definitely want to get into this book. Where did the idea come from?
Well, you know, when I was 14, I met my dad for the first time, and he handed me this little paperback book called Think and Grow Rich, and it really changed my life. I wasn't really ready to call him dad, kind of a stranger for another 3 years. But 3 years later, I put the formula that was in this book to a test and set a goal to graduate #1 in my class. That happened. Then I set a goal to get elected to Congress. That happened. And now that I was older, I was like, man, it would be cool to write a book that could change young people's lives just like that book changed my life. And so it's sort of a modern day version of Think and Grow Rich that tells people the little things they need to do to get ahead. The difference is, rather than talk about people from the last century like Henry Ford or Andrew Carnegie, I talk about people like Steve Harvey and Jim Carrey and Dolly Parton and modern day celebrities that they could relate to.
I love that. You know what I love so much about you gifting the world this book is that you've seen a lot and you're sharing it. You know, your book offers little things that people can do to help achieve their big dreams, which I think is just amazing. Can you share some of them, just a few with us, please?
Yeah. #1 is use your gifts. And as Steve Harvey said, your gifts are the things you do the absolute best with the least amount of effort. Those are the things that come easy for you, that are hard for other people, that you love doing. The second thing is you got to take chances in life. And I'm not talking about crazy chances, but educated baby step risk. At some point, you're going to have to jump. Another thing is you got to trust your intuition. I trust my intuition, no matter how unconventional or unpopular it seems. A fourth thing, you got to be persistent and keep going. You can fail and win anyway. And then a fifth thing that's important is don't take yourself too seriously. Life's hard enough, man, and you got to be able to go with the punches.
I think we got 5 T-shirts right there.
Right there, and
right
just that
there.
little segment right there. Hey, and speaking of that, you recently gave a very powerful TED Talk about the power of deprecating humor, the 6th most watched TED Talk ever. Tell us why you felt that was so powerful.
Well, it changed my life. You know, when I ran for Congress, I ran at the same time Mike Pence was elected in 2000, and I was a huge underdog. I was losing by 27 points in the poll, out fundraised 4-1. The leader of my party told me I needed to drop out. And then something happened. I got invited to give a 5-minute speech in Washington. It was like American Idol for politicians, and everybody else was serious. And I told a joke, and I said, you know, I've been waiting here for hours. I feel like Elizabeth Taylor's 7th husband on his honeymoon night. Technically, I know what I'm supposed to do, but I don't know how to make it interesting for you. And that room erupted, and they connected with me, and they ranked me #1 in the country. They spent $400,000 to support me, and a few months later, against all odds, I won a seat in Congress. So it's literally been responsible for elevating me into a position where I can help people. And my goal when in Congress was helping poor kids go to college through something called Pell Grants. But I wouldn't have got that chance if it wasn't for self-deprecating humor.
You know, I love the fact that you just kind of work your way through, like you're learning as you go and you're taking us along with you. You know, so many people out there might not feel like they're brave enough to take a chance, or might not feel like they can tap into the special part of themselves. What's your advice for them to just at least try it, or where should they start when they're trying to look within and say, okay, what am I actually good at?
The biggest mistake I see people make is they hit a roadblock and they said, that's it. I guess this wasn't for me. And you gotta realize that we all screw up. We all have setbacks. Let me just give you a clear example. When I ran in 2000, there were 3 of us running high profile races, me and Mike Pence and some guy from Illinois. I won, Pence won, the guy from Illinois lost by 31 points, a blowout. And years later, I wondered, whatever happened to that guy? And then one day I saw him at the grocery store in the checkout line on the cover of People magazine, and I thought, I guess he's doing all right. And that guy's name is Barack Obama.
Nice.
I love I'm from Illinois. Right when you were saying that, I was like, I wonder if it's Barack.
Yeah. One Nobel Prize, 2 terms in the White House, 3 #1 bestsellers. But he didn't let that setback. Most people losing by 31 points would have rocked them. But Barack knew he had these gifts of public speaking. He could do it as well as anybody, and he used his gifts. And I think, and Oprah says the same thing. If you use your gifts for the greater good, you might stumble on a temporary basis, but you will never fail on a permanent basis.
Come on now.
That's like 10 T-shirts.
Yes.
All right. Well, the book is called Chase the Bears, Little Things to Achieve Big Dreams. Rick Keller, man, thank you so much for all those gems. Thank you so much for joining us.
Thank you. Can I just say this from the hurricane? I always want to say this. This is Rick Keller for Wish TV. In the middle of the hurricane, back to you in the studio, Alexis and Randall.
Rick, thank you.
Thank you, Rick. Appreciate you, man.
Oh, man, he can come back anytime.